Sorry, everyone. That was my fault. I hit the wrong button. What about Bob with 37 months? Thank you. God damn. Same thing as the other day happened. Basically, my window was open and I accidentally hit the button. The button to play the video and the button that's the default action button for my streaming program is the same. So I went to basically start the video and I accidentally hit the button to stop the stream. So, I don't know. Give me a second to fix all this and we'll be good. I do have two monitors. I have two monitors. I'm just an idiot. Okay. Done with that. Sorry about that. Oh, I did actually have one more thing I need to do. Change the YouTube chat. I'm just an idiot. Thanks, me. Appreciate it. Goddamn bitch. Alright. It is nice that at this point, when there are technical issues, it's generally my own fault. I have no one else to blame. Weirdly, it makes me less angry. Steve with the Q says, oh, couldn't see the gang on the shirt in the smaller window. Nice. Oh, yeah. This is my, Scooby-Doo. Cool. Sorry about that. Get back to it.
You see me?
Yeah, I just have a static image of you, but that's okay.
You have a static image? That's not okay.
Yeah. I just have a like your camera's off for me.
Oh, they're working on it. Be patient. They're working on it, David.
Well, you can see me, right? I'm waving.
He white. He's waving. He white. Thank you for coming on, David.
Did he just say he's white? He's waving. He's white.
Be patient. They're working on it, David.
Well, you can see me, right? I'm waving.
He white. He's waving. He white. Thank you for coming on.
What is up with Jessie Lee Peterson? Constantly focusing on everyone's race. Very strange.
Hi, David.
Jessie, I just thank you for having me. It's amazing to be here. I appreciate it. And I just want to say, I've listened to interviews of yours here and there over many years. And every time I come across an interview, I'm like, wow, that's really amazing, in your words. And
amazing.
And I always liked it. And so recently, the last couple of weeks, I've been, since we've been booked, I've been listening to more and more just to get a feel and prepare for the show. And you are singing my song. Everything that you say, from your silent prayer to everything, it's what I do. And I just love it. But I got a quick question for you before we start, since this is a special day for you. You believe that God is responsible for your creation, right?
Yes, all things.
Okay. So do you believe that you are alive when you're in your mother's womb?
Do you believe that you're alive when you're in your mother's womb? Yes.
Okay. So why aren't you celebrating your conception day, which would be about August 16th, instead of your birthday? Because you're denying 9 months of God's creation by celebrating today. That's all I want to say.
Because when I was...
Does Dave not understand that, like, back in the day, people didn't even necessarily celebrate birthdays, at least not until years later, because the babies might die, because infant mortality was crazy. I don't know. Just seems weird. Does he also think people know the exact day that they were conceived? Be a weird thing to know. Lilac Rosenberg says, not Tin, but it looks like Adam Conover's helping animators start a union. Oh, that's good. Rick M with 12 months says, Peterson is truly an awful person. That he is. I agree. And hydrate.
Growing up, we never celebrated in the womb. We're just so glad we made it through the womb.
Well, that is a day to celebrate that you got through, but that's the real day. You should celebrate the day that you were created. So that's August 16th, everybody. So don't forget, Jessie gets extra super chats and coffees on August 16th.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, David, let me ask, since I don't know a lot about you, are you a Christian?
That's a very personal question, and I'm going to get into that. I'll tell you something. Before 2014, I denied all religion, all creator. I was a big believer in scientism and
Scientism on the bingo card. We did it.
or science, which is really scientism. And I denied everything, and it's because of the globe lie. And that's what pushed me there. And then after
Flat Earth on the bingo card, of course.
I discovered that we don't live on a spinning, wobbling, rocky ball surrounded by smooth water that no one's ever seen the curve, adjacent to air, adjacent to a void, which is scientifically impossible.
It's not because of gravity.
I understood that this place is intelligently designed, and therefore you have no other option but to accept that there's a creator. I believe it's Romans 1:19 that says, it says, for what may be known about God is to clear to them since God has shown it to them. Basically, what the whole verse is saying is once you see my creation, you can no longer deny my existence. And this is what the wannabe controllers of this world want. They want you in a situation where you can deny God.
So let me ask you this. You said that you were a Christian, but you stopped being one when you found out that the earth was flat?
Well, no. I was...
It's the opposite of what he wants. Fedekagami says, not only do most, if not literally no one knows the exact day they were conceived, but thanks to people like Peterson and Flat Earth Dave, those child mortality rates are starting to catch up with ye olden days.
I was a non-believer in anything. I believed in science. The science was my religion. And then now I understand that there is a creator. So,
so you have never been a Christian.
Well, hold on. It's your definition of what a Christian is, and that could take 2 hours to talk about. But let's.
I just want to. You're talking kind of fast right now. And I just want to. I'm black and slow, and so I just kind of.
So fucking racist. I hate it.
I just kind of want to understand. You're telling me that you have never been a Christian. You believed in science.
That at that time, yeah. I mean, I would classify myself as, if you want to define Christian, more of a Christian than many people, Bible thumpers that call themselves Christians.
And I haven't defined Christian. How do you define Christianity?
Oh, well, now we're diving in. I would say somebody that believes in the Creator, that believes in Christ, that loves their neighbor. And
like, does Jessie just assume that because this guy is a flat earther and he assumes flat earther equals dumb, therefore he must be an atheist because Jessie thinks atheists are dumb? Like, is he surprised to find that Dave is religious?
Is God's law. That's the foundation of Christianity.
Oh, okay. And do you believe that God created heaven and earth?
Yes.
You do believe that?
Yes.
And why should we believe you when you say that the earth is flat? Why should we believe?
Did not believe me.
Why
belief
should we
is the enemy of belief is the enemy of knowing, or belief is the lazy man's knowing. Because everybody believes that I'm on the East Coast because you said it.
Belief is the lazy man's knowing. Good God.
Because I told
God forbid we have any sort of tentative positions on things based on evidence at the time. No, you have to claim some sort of, like, ultimate knowledge of truth. That's not good. That's not a good way to think about things.
I told you that. You believe it, but you don't know it. So to know it takes time and effort. And people are very lazy, and they don't want to take the time to verify things. God says verify all things.
And so you know for sure that the earth is flat. You know that without a doubt?
I know for without a doubt that we're not on a spinning rocky ball flying through an infinite, godless, or distant God expanding universe, because when you look at the details of it, it's absolute insanity. But when you, when you look at all the measurements of Earth, everything measures flat. When you measure the Earth, we can see farther than they say we could see. On a curved surface, there's
incorrect. No one has ever observed things they're not supposed to see on a round Earth. Usually flat earthers just don't take into account elevation.
Should be a limit to our vision, but we can see way, way, way beyond that. And then all of the measurements for the heliocentric model, which is the globe model, I call it the heliosinister trick.
The heliosinister trick. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like a good pun.
Are assumed measurements. None of them have been proven. In school, we were taught.
Makes it sound like the sun is evil.
Earth is a globe. This is that. And this is the way it is.
Not a bad villain name if you had like some kind of nuclear powers. that looked, you know, like sunbeams or like nuclear blast, you could call yourself Helio Sinister. Workshopping it.
Even to this
I'm Scheffler. Thanks for a 3-stream streak.
very day, the best physicists in the world
The
say
sun is a deadly laser. The sun is a massive incandescent gas. Nope. Copyright. Can't do that. They might be giants. They might be litigious.
they can't prove whether it's a glow that we're spinning or everything is spinning above us. They can't prove it either way, but they teach us one as a fact and the other one is they don't even mention the other one as a possibility. But to this very day, you know, the best physicists in the world. You had Mark Sargent on about 5 years ago. You had a physicist on, and that physicist said the same thing I'm saying right now, that you can't, that they can't tell whether we're moving or not.
And do you know for sure?
What do you mean we can't tell we're moving? We absolutely can. Based on our, like, observations of other celestial bodies, we can tell we are moving relative to them and relative to other things. Benekagami says, it's funny how many of these former believers in science expect us to believe them when they say that, despite them showing no ability to understand science at all. But these same kinds of people refuse to believe former Christians or former conspiracy theorists ever were believers who were deconverted. No one could believe the same as me and come into the conclusion, even incorrectly, that I'm wrong. They must be lying, but I'm definitely not. That's symptomatic of conspiracy theories as a whole, is no one just has disagreements. The conspiratorial mindset is that if someone disagrees, it's because they've been brainwashed or because they themselves are evil. Very few people in the conspiratorial mindset are just wrong. Usually they're either evil or brainwashed. Those are pretty much the only options.
Sure that the Earth is flat.
Well, what is the definition of flat? Flat is not a shape. Flat is a description of level, horizontal. We live on a non-rotating, level, topographical, horizontal plane. And, you know, we have hills and valleys and everything, but everything is level. And we know this for a fact.
Astrofox says the physicist was saying that it's impossible to know if you're moving or everything around you is moving because of relativity, and he's misunderstanding that to think a scientist said they can't prove Earth is moving. Gotcha. Thank you for the clarification.
Now, in the flat Earth community, we're trying to figure.
Does this look flat to you? Safe to show. Let's see. Copy. It's anime Earth waifu. Oh no, it might be AI though. Look at the NASA logo. Oh god. Did someone AI this? God damn it.
Figure this place out. Flat Earthers are willing to
I feel like I just got AI jump scared.
say, we don't know. Or, hey, that works on both flat and globe. And what you'll find out in this
You're fine. I assume you just Google imaged it and that came up and you didn't notice. It happens.
conversation, things will fall into three pots. Works on a flat Earth, works on a globe
Didn't Jesse
Earth,
out
and
himself
works
sometime
on
back?
both.
What's he think he's
And
doing
you'll find
now?
that things go.
Was he outed? I don't remember. I know there were definitely accusations. Did he ever get caught looking at certain materials? And to be clear, I believe people who accused him of stuff. I just don't remember what the specific allegations were.
Into both end bowls, but the middle bowl, the globe, nothing goes in there by itself. Nothing. So you have to keep looking at the evidence. And, you know, here's the thing. We can, since we have 5 hours to do this show, we're barely going to be able to cover all of the information. So what I tell people is do not believe anything I say. Go verify it yourself, but Google will not hand you anything. If you
Do your own research on the card.
Google Flat Earth, Google my name, Google anything, you're going to get propaganda. You're going to get nonsense,
If
right?
the Earth is flat, why isn't someone, I don't know, jumped off the edge of the Earth in a spacesuit and filmed it? Flat Earthers like Dave don't actually think there's an edge that goes into space. They don't think space exists. They either think the universe just stops at an ice wall, or it goes on infinitely. Or some of them think it's like domed like a snow globe and outside of it is heaven. Depends on the flat earther. They have a variety of different beliefs that are all very interesting and strange.
On my
You did say 5 hours.
website, flatearthdave.com, there's a button called the Crash Course. And there's a list of videos in there that are being hidden
Oh, and they also think that no one is allowed to go to Antarctica ever.
from you. watch those videos
And that's how the government hides the ice wall, according to their beliefs. It's not true.
with a skeptical mind. Do not believe anything. Verify everything. And I'm so confident, for those of you know that what Bitcoin is, I offer 3 Bitcoins for 1 globe proof, but you have to watch those videos first.
Can I have cash? That'd be better.
So
have
do
to
you
watch it
know?
first.
Do you know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat?
I know
Mic sounds weird. My mic sounds weird. Nothing's unplugged for me.
for sure and without a doubt that it's not a globe as they describe.
That's such a strange question, as if your confidence is somehow indicative of how right you are. That's so strange. Fenekagami says, yes, he basically was outed as being gay, or at least bi due to liking analingus on Twitter. Plus, multiple young men have accused him of coming onto them, and I think a few having sex with him.
And do you know for sure and without a doubt that it's
Well, he's a hypocrite then. Shock.
flat?
Well, what is your definition of flat?
Do you know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat?
Well, it's not flat because there's hills and valleys, so that's not flat.
But
It's
you're a
level.
flat Earth.
Last I checked, Bitcoin's at like $60,000 per coin. I'm not sure what it is currently. It's a whole shit show being held up by Tether, so that's its own thing.
It's level. It's horizontal.
But-
how would you describe a pond? Is it flat?
Do you know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat?
It's frustrating listening to an argument where one person isn't arguing in good faith or doesn't know how to argue in good faith. I cannot describe to you. You're suffering through it with me right now, but I still cannot describe to you how inane and mind-numbing it is listening to 2 people who don't know how to argue having an argument.
Well, all of our observations show a flat level Earth, 127,000 feet. Earth isn't spinning out from underneath here. It looks flat.
And do you know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat?
Are you going to keep asking me until I answer?
Yeah, that's what he does.
I know for sure that the Earth is not rotating. I know for sure that it is level. I know for sure that all plumb bobs are parallel to each other and perpendicular to horizontal. I know for sure that the oceans do not bend when at rest. I know for sure that we can see farther than the physical ball allows us to, right? If there's a curvature, my mouth is behind the curvature. You can't see it because of the curvature, a physical horizon. There is no physical horizon, and our optics today have made us see much farther than our naked eyes could before. We can see with our naked eyes farther than the geometric globe allows, and with optics, we can see magnitudes farther. Now, the things that we can see at distances, there's 2 options. Earth is flat, or the Earth is 1,000 times bigger than they're telling us, and they're hiding more land, more resources. They're hiding all sorts of things. So, do I know for sure the Earth is flat? I know for sure it's not a globe.
And so do you know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat?
Well, let's take a look at this. So here is a view.
But you're not answering my question.
I'm going to answer your question.
You might not be able to see me on the camera yet, but I'm black and
I
slow.
see you. I see you.
I'm
I
black
see
and
you.
slow. Oh, you can see me. You notice
see.
that
Why does anyone watch the Jessie Lee Peterson show for entertainment? This is insufferable.
I'm black and slow now.
Right.
So before we move on, do you know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat?
I'll answer that question after you answer this question, okay? If the Earth is the size that they tell us, which is 24,901 miles around, it's hard to see out here, but there's a whole bunch of mountains.
You
the
still
Alps.
didn't answer my question yet.
I'm going to answer it. I'm going to answer it.
Where are you
can
going to
see
answer? After the show?
after this slide. After this slide. All right?
All right.
So these mountains, according to the Earth's size, should be behind 50 miles of curvature. They should be 50 miles.
Do you see how from the picture that's being taken, it's higher than that other mountain peak? It's because the picture's being taken from a high altitude, on the top of a mountain and not at sea level. Glad I could clear that up for you. The higher the elevation, the longer you can see, because you're putting yourself above the curve and therefore can see further. Here's the answer.
Below the curvature, but we can see them. What would that tell you? Would that tell you that the Earth is flat?
You asking me that?
I'm asking you that.
I don't know, because I know that the Earth, because it's made of dirt, it tends to go fall from one thing to another. It's never stay the same, due to the fact that it is created from dirt. So
the Earth is made of dirt. What is the Earth is made of dirt. No, I understand. He's trying to talk about how geological features change over time. It's just a non sequitur.
the mountains
Sure.
can be
Play
one
the cleanse after this. Sounds good.
place or one way today and another place. So do you know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat?
What's your definition of flat? Is flat a perfectly smooth surface? Because then no, it's not flat.
Do you know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat?
I know for sure, without a doubt, that there is no curvature. So if something doesn't have,
Is it weird that my job has brought me back to JLP after all this time? No, that happens. There are people on bullshit circuits. I'm still effectively doing a similar job, and then I'm discussing things that I don't think are true. It's just that I have broadened the scope of what I talk about that isn't true, if that makes sense. Gamer Jesus, I'm just here to see Jessie heckle Beta at the Flat Earther.
curvature, then it's what?
Do you know
something
for
do-
sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat?
I keep asking me, Jesse, but if something doesn't have curvature, then it's what?
Do you know for sure that the Earth is flat without a doubt?
If something isn't moving, then it's what?
Why are you not answering my question so we can move on?
Because the answer is a what is the definition of flat? Like, is a table flat?
You don't
Take
know
a
what
microscope,
flat
look at a table.
is?
Take a microscope, look at a table.
You don't
and
know
can see
what
hills and valleys on
you
there.
don't know
Is it
what
flat?
is, but yet you
Well-
call yourself a flat Earth expert. What the?
Jesse, Jesse, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
You look at your kitchen table and it looks flat, but then you take an electron microscope and look at it. There's mountains and valleys on there. Is it flat?
But you won't answer my question as if no, I'm just playing.
Is your kitchen table flat?
But you won't answer. You're the expert.
I'm going to
here.
answer it. I'm going to answer
You're
it if
the
you answer
expert
that.
here on
Is your
flat.
kitchen
You're the
table
expert
flat?
here on flat Earth, right?
Yeah.
And you came highly recommended.
Thank
and
you.
you can't even answer the question if you know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat. How can you be a flat earther and you don't know what flat is?
I'm really a true earther, a level plane, non-rotating earther.
So you're not a flat earther.
I'm going to answer the question if you answer this question.
You're a
Your
true
kitchen
earthy and
table-
not a flat earthy?
I'm gonna tell you that the Earth is flat if you answer this question.
No, you keep asking me questions. I'm answering your
Is
question.
your kitchen table flat?
I don't have one.
Is your desk flat? Is the desk that you have flat?
Do you know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat? Expert.
Is Jessie Lee Peterson just playing the longest Andy Kaufman-esque character of all time?
In your definition of flat, if your desk is flat, if your floor is flat,
Amber with a link. How dare you?
then the Earth is flat.
There's 45 minutes left and 35 minutes in this video.
I don't have a floor. I have a dirt floor.
You're standing on a floor right now. Come on, Jesse.
No, I'm standing on a stage.
You're on a stage. So is the stage flat?
It's kind of round.
Oh, come on. Is it flat? I'm not talking about the
There
exterior.
are
I'm talking
portions
about the
of it
surface.
that are flat, but there are portions that are round. And so, do you know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat?
If you describe something as not having curvature as being flat, then yes, for sure, I know that it's flat.
I'm sorry?
If something does not curve, then it is flat.
So you don't know for sure if the Earth is flat?
I do know that the Earth does not curve. There is no curvature.
But you're,
for sure.
You're saying everything but what I'm asking.
I thought I answered the question pretty good.
Not yet.
Sorry, it's just it keeps going from mind-numbing back to hilarious in a cycle for me. It's that cycle of comedic repetition where like it'll go funny and then like, oh my god, stop, and then funny again, but it keeps getting funnier, but you keep getting more annoyed. The peaks and valleys intensify.
There.
Not yet. I need.
Do I know for sure that the Earth is flat? There's two options.
Let your yes be yes and your no's be no. Do you know for sure that the Earth is flat?
Since you're forcing me to answer this, I will answer it. It is either flat or 1,000,000 times bigger than they tell us.
So what?
It's either flat or 1,000,000 times bigger than they tell us, so we can't detect any curvature.
So you don't know for sure. So you don't know for sure if it's flat or not.
Here, I'll tell you this. If the Earth was 1,000,000 times bigger than they told us, that means there's 1,000,000 times more, the number of continents and 1,000,000 times the resources. That's a big problem. I'll go with that. So it's either 1,000,000 times bigger or more, or it's flat.
And so you don't know for sure then if it's flat. You're just taking a guess as
No.
the other people who say that is round like a ball.
No.
So the round ball people are taking a guess about it, and you're taking a guess about it because you don't know for sure that it's flat. You don't know for sure.
If you don't know for sure, you're guessing. What an interesting dichotomy in how you think knowledge works. Either you know 100% or you're guessing.
Without a doubt that it's flat.
There's no gradient of confidence or like amount of information you could be basing your belief on. It's just all or nothing.
Right?
So the people that say the Earth is a globe, they have dimensions. We've disproven those dimensions.
But you still didn't prove anything.
We know for sure that it's...
This is honestly hilarious. This feels like if there was some sort of like ironic punishment hell, this would be where flat earthers would go. They have to go and argue with something who makes them feel like what people like me feel like when I have to argue with flat earthers.
It's not a globe the size that they tell us.
So
for sure.
Other people are hell. I don't accept references from French playwrights. Gamer G says, I swear I'm having a stroke. I'm actually cheering for Jessie Lee Peterson of all people. I know if he's supposed to... I don't know if he's purposely trolling Dave or not, but at this point, I don't care.
But you can't prove that the Earth is flat.
Well,
you try to prove that the Earth is not... You try
Uncultured, unfrenched.
I don't know
prove
all
that the Earth
possibilities.
is not round by saying it's not round, but it's flat. But you don't have any... You don't know for sure and without a doubt that it's flat either.
Not flat like this. This is not real. This is what you'll find. If
But you don't know that.
Fenekagami says, this is like watching Tim Pool. I know the fans of these guys hate being called dumb, but the only way you can think these guys are either... the only way you can think these guys are either as dumb or dumber. Once you have even a basic understanding of how to argue or about the subjects they talk about, it's easy to spot how to be full of shit people... How full of shit people like Jessie Lee Peterson and Dave are. It's nice to see terrible people be terrible to each other, though. Yeah.
Well, we know it's not this.
You don't.
A really good clickbait title for this video should have been I agree with Jessie Lee Peterson now. You're right.
Don't know that.
I feel bad about shit like that.
Yes, we do.
I don't want to clickbait. I don't want to self-promote, but I have to. By the way, we're working our way towards Costume Month Part 2. So if you'd like, we're a little over a third of the way there. Use the tip link in the chat if you want to donate towards Costume Month. It would help a lot. End of the month, rent's coming up, broke as shit.
No, you don't. You don't even know if it's flat or not.
Well, it's your definition of flat.
But let me ask this. I'll move on since you don't know for sure and without a doubt. But let me ask.
Flat or a million times bigger, I think that either one of those says something.
So it could be round, but it's just million times bigger than what you can see. So it could be round then, right?
That is true. But think
I
about
read
this.
my case.
I have to use the bathroom. I think that's a good place to pause for a second while I go use the bathroom. Ugh. You rest this case. Bring in the dancing lobsters. Okay, while I'm gone, Cher will tell you about the nail gun massacre. I'll be right back. And Kagami says, bits for making you read my terrible typing for like 3 years. Thank you, I appreciate it. That's a great BRB screen, thank you. I literally just Googled, like DVD, pause menu widget, and it came up. It was nice. So thank you, uncredited person, whoever created this graphic and allowed people to use it. Alright. You good? Actually, let's watch that cleanse real quick. We'll do the cleanse, and then we'll continue. If you hire an actor to play a bartender, make sure he can actually bartend.
How about a beer? Yeah, sure thing. Why don't you try this one? It's called Viper Pills. Goes down real smooth. It's got some bite.
Oh, no!
On the house.
The head on that one was not ideal.
What if
We still don't have proof that it's flat.
Are hiding a million times the number of continents? What if they're hiding that? Resources, civilizations. What if?
What if everyone was like made of gummy bears, man?
Oh no. So I believe it's a level, stationary, non-rotating plane. Every test done through time, through history, that looks
I know,
for
but you
axial
can't
rotation.
you can't do a what if. If the frog didn't have a glass ass, he wouldn't have broken when he jumped either. So you can't do what if. You're just doing what the round earthers are doing. You're doing the same thing.
No, I'm not. You can't
trying
say
to
that.
prove-
Wait, is Jessie Lee Peterson a flat earth, round earth centrist? Is he taking the controversial I don't know stance on the shape of the earth?
Say that.
You're trying to
Can't say
prove
that.
that the round earth is not round, but you don't know for sure that it's flat, and I understand that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jesse, if the Earth was a million times bigger than they told us, that means they're hiding a lot of stuff from us. That's a problem.
Right. But the point is, it
Same thing
could
with
be
flat.
that. So it still don't have the proof without a
Right.
doubt that it's flat. You're just saying, well, if it's round, they're hiding something from us. But it still doesn't prove. It still doesn't prove that it is flat.
He's not wrong with this statement. You can say all you want, well, if it is, they're hiding something that has nothing to do materially with whether or not it's true. You haven't demonstrated or presented evidence to that effect. So why should anyone take it seriously? Your concern. You're already taking it as a given that people agree with you, and they don't.
Right.
Right?
Well, so the thing is
that right?
What is flat is the question. So yes, it doesn't prove that it's just flat like you're pigeonholing me to. But
I rest my case.
Since we can
Again, kind of funny. Kind of funny.
prove that it's not a
Terrible person, but watching Dave have to bang his head against a wall here is pretty cathartic, if I'm being honest. Benikagami says, what if we're all D&D characters stuck in a level 1 fighter class who've had our swords confiscated and have no monsters to fight so we can't level up? I'd rather be this than a fighter class. I'm not going to be a martial class. I'm a wizard at heart. M. Scheffler says, Hannah, you talked to Jessie. He seems like he might be of suboptimal intelligence. Did you get that impression? I mean, you might have... I'm not going to read that. I don't think it's fair to speculate about that kind of thing, like, at all. I get the impression that he's playing up a characteristics as a caricature because he cynically knows it'll make him money from right-wingers, is what I think he's doing.
globe.
Don't get me wrong, I think he's actually a douchebag, but I think he plays up acting a certain way for his audience.
Clearly, like they say.
But you haven't even proved that it's not a globe. The globe might be so big you can't see around it.
Well, you know what? If it's flat or a million times bigger, I'm a million times bigger earther.
What?
Okay. Either way,
That makes sense.
Either way, the deception. You know, Jesse, the whole deception. You know, people say, "Well, why would they lie?" When you take away, people say, "Well, what about boats over the horizon? What about seasons? What about sunsets? What about all of these things that they think are proofs of the globe?" When they take the time and look at the evidence and see that these things actually work perfectly on a flat Earth, they go, "What difference does it make? Why would they lie?
Why
would they
is
lie,
it important to you for people to know that it's flat?
Because when it brought me to God.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
No.
What do you mean no?
The earth cannot bring you to God.
It's a very straight... You'd think if you were religious, if you were Christian, you'd be happy anyway, but whatever. Whatever. He's just doing a show. Orange Tree House with a $5 tip says he's so worried about the world being flat and they are hiding stuff. I wonder when was the last time he mowed his grass or fed the ducks. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta go and do something. Just go be a human being. Be an animal. Because that's what we are. Go do something that makes you feel good. Go be a person. Get in touch with physical reality instead of the internet and a bunch of social constructs. Go involve yourself in real material things. It's just important. Also, thank you for the tip towards Costume Month. We're over a third of the way towards the next Costume Month. Use the tip link if you'd like to. It helps greatly, especially at the end of the month when I'm broke and rent is due.
Well, no, the understanding of where we live made me see that there is God, and then my relationship with God grew from there.
No.
No?
I've never heard a Christian shut down another Christian's conversion story like this before. It's kind of fascinating. Like, he's so just anti-him and looking to fight that he's arguing against what made him Christian? Like, that's not really something you can argue, right? It's a subjective, personal thing.
Your relationship cannot grow from science because you said you didn't believe in God, you believe in science.
I did.
and knowing whether the earth is flat or round cannot bring you to God either. But why is it important to you that people know that the earth is flat?
Because in this world, there's so much deception going on, and the best place to commune with God is in your silent prayer in nature. Nature doesn't lie. Nature, I say, the natural world is God's world, and they want to take us away from that. They put us on a heliocentric ball that's doing spinning and whirling and twirling, doing crazy things in an expanding, ever-expanding universe, and that keeps people dizzy, lost, out of control, not knowing where they are, right? So if in the heliocentric system, this is what people believe. We're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour on the equator. We're orbiting the sun at 66,000.
Again, he's already, this is too much for a conversation with Jessie. Jesse's gonna, if you gish gallop Jessie, it's almost brilliant in the stupidest way, because it's almost a complete denial of the argument you're making. Don't get me wrong, this is terrible for good faith discussions, but if you're looking at having like a fallacy fight, which is basically what this is, it's a valid strategy. He's basically, every time he tries to gish gallop him with a bunch of flat earth nonsense, he just gives one-word answers. No. It's kind of brilliant in the stupidest way, if that makes sense. It's like that clip from Glass Onion. It's the opposite almost, where like, it's so dumb it's brilliant. No, it's just dumb. It is just dumb, but I see what he's doing. Benikagami says that what rattling off evidence from Dave felt like a Christian trying to wave off problem of evil to me. Jay Rodimus says, anyone used this clip yet? This is what I'm feeling. Let's see. Let them fight.
Let them fight.
Fennikigami says, the video reminds me of the conversation JLP had with Paul and Morgan. Oh, I didn't see that one.
600 miles an hour, a speed that you can't even fathom. And we're chasing the sun at 500,000 miles per hour, right? But we can't feel any of those motions, right? And all of those motions are curved motions. Like people say, well, I'm in an airplane, I can't feel the motion. Well, if that airplane wanted to mimic the slowest speed, which is
it's not about speed, it's about acceleration.
Spin of the Earth, you'd have to double the speed of the airplane. You'd have to remove the outer shell of the airplane, and you'd have to nosedive down at 1 mile per minute to follow the curve of the Earth. And don't tell me you're not going to feel that.
If you were accelerating, but if you weren't accelerating, no, you wouldn't.
Right?
What a mess. You said you said that the best place to do what with God in nature, what did you say?
I said that nature doesn't lie. Nature is created by God.
What did you say about? Did you say the best place to do something with God is in nature?
If you wanna connect with God, what's a better place to do it? In a busy household with Wi-Fi and people making noises, or maybe to sit in nature and have an experience with the Creator?
You're never going to find God by sitting in nature looking for Him.
Well, not looking for Him, just you're just having a moment doing your silent prayer.
Yeah, Prime subs work.
But you're not going to find God in nature. He's created nature. He controls nature, but that's not where you find Him.
Well, what if you've already found Him?
But you haven't.
At all?
No.
Okay. How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because you think you found Him through science. And
no, I didn't find Him through science. Science hid Him from me.
What?
Science.
I thought you said you didn't believe in God. You believed in science.
I did for all my growing up, all my life. I believed in science. Scientism is a religion. It's a fake religion. Science is real.
Right.
They don't give us real science.
There is real science out there and fake science, but I'm still not seeing how you find God in nature.
Well,
even though He controls nature, but that's not where we find Him.
Well, I'm not
What
saying.
a weird argument about spirituality to say that you, like, I'm not even religious. I don't think there is a God, but if you do believe in God, and I used to, was raised Christian, I don't understand how you would think you couldn't if you believed in some sort of divine creator, that you wouldn't see them through their creation? And I don't even believe in this shit. What a bad argument. Toreador says, this sounds exactly like Saturday night comic book nerd arguments at game night at the local shop. Remind me not to go to your local game shop.
I'm saying it's a place to get away from all of the distractions that distract us from finding our true self, finding God within ourselves. It's in your silent prayer, you said, clear your head, right? God's within you, and hold your hands up, because what? God's above you, right? That's what you say in your silent prayer.
No,
Yes?
I don't say clear your head. I say become aware of what's happening in your head. You are
Perfect,
not your
perfect.
thoughts, right? But
You're
I
right,
want to
right.
do this because, and I want to hear more about your science, flat Earth stuff. But I just want to, for my own understanding, you don't know for sure and without a doubt that the Earth is flat. You're pretty much doing what the round Earthers thinks.
That's
They
not
say
true.
that it's round, like and they say that, and then the flat earthers say it's flat. So you just have two
We've circled back to the argument from the beginning. Glad we're here.
different.
I'm going to speed this up at this point. I'm going to put that at 1.25. Lennon Cat says, JLP is saying that God reveals himself to you and that you cannot use science to prove God because God is outside of nature and science. The other guy is saying that Flat Earth made him question science, which opened him to accepting God. It's a bullshit story, but that's his point. They're talking past each other. Oh, yeah.
Opposing view about what the Earth is.
That's a very unfair analogy. Let me give you an analogy.
Okay.
Let's say we're on. There's a road and it's 100 miles long and it's straight, and we can only see a couple miles down that road before perspective kind of limits our view. And I say, well, that road is straight, and the Glober says, oh no, that road is curving to the
David,
right.
hold that thought. Let me take a quick break. All right, don't go nowhere. 888-7753-773. Back in a moment. All right, quickly back to my to David Wise, and David is known as Flat Earth Dave. So Dave, because I'm black and slow, I want you to lay out your proof, and I'm gonna give you a little time here to lay out your proof that the Earth is flat.
I'm gonna show you that, but I want to give you an analogy that might help me understand why I'm not going to say I know for sure that the Earth is flat. Let's say we have a road; it's 100 miles long. We can only see a couple miles down the road due to our vision, and it's straight. And I could zoom in all the way to the end to 100 miles, and that's as far as my zoom will go. A Glober says, well, that road is actually turning to the right, and I can prove that it's not because we can see beyond where it should be turning. So the Glober has been proven wrong. Now you say, well, do you know that road's 100 miles? Well, I know that that it's not more. I don't know. I can't see past.
Baja with 150 stream streak. Incredible. Love you. It's my wife, if anyone. I'm not just telling random people in chat I love them. Benigami says, the Paul and Morgan video, I always know that a lot of you are here all the time, so you know me and you know Baja. But also I always think sometimes people are probably here for the first time and just looking in, and they think I'm a psycho just telling random people in chat I love them. Fenigagami says, the Paul and Morgan video went a lot like this. A lot of sexism from JLP towards Morgan. He talked past Morgan a lot and frankly tried to blame problems Paul and Morgan had on her. Thankfully, Paul did offer pushback in defense of his wife. You really get the feeling that Paul and Morgan were being nicer to JLP than they should have to stay integrated with his audience. Yeah, his audience, I'm not going to go look at it because there's some racist stuff. Actually, some of JLP's audience in the comments here seems upset that he wasn't okay with the flat earth stuff, which is interesting.
Past that, but I can tell you that it's not curving. So if it's not
Have you seen the clip of Alex Jones telling a viewer he loves her? No.
curving, it's not a sphere. It's not curving, right? So the Earth is measurably flat. It's straight. It's level. It's non-rotating. So if it's not rotating, and it's not curving, then it's level and flat.
I used to go down to Miss Seeker and Mr. Robert house, and their house, it was in a curve. When you're driving down to their house, it was in a curve, and you can see the car curving, and the little guide thing on there shows that the car is curving. Are you saying that road wasn't really curving?
No, I'm not. I'm saying if the road curves, the road curves. If it doesn't curve, it doesn't curve. The
Oh.
Earth doesn't curve.
Oh, okay.
There
And-
is no curvature.
And when is your
So Jesse, I can say
Oh, you
I'm
see-
God, Italian Shakespeare. No.
you see this?
that has curvature.
This had curvature?
That is curvature. I can
Again, if it's a character, what a character. If it's a character, he's basically playing into all the worst right-wing stereotypes that he possibly could. It's
say without a
terrible.
doubt that is a sphere.
Why does he behave this
Amazing!
way?
And what is this?
That I can say without a doubt that the surface of that is level. I mean, I see it has a little dome over it, but I don't know. I'm not saying that the Earth is like that. I'm not saying that that's the end of the Earth and it's floating in space. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh.
We can't go beyond Antarctica and explore.
So what is your proof that the Earth is flat?
It doesn't curve.
But that's easy to say that. I can say
It's not easy to say that. You
I
actually
can
have to go
say
out and
that
measure.
I can say that it does curve.
How? Can you prove it? Because I can show you that it doesn't.
But when I'm on the airplane, I can sense that we were going around something. Show me your
When I'm on the air, he's not even right. What does he mean? On an airplane, you cannot sense you're going around something. What is he talking about?
graphic of the Earth being
Like
flat.
he's like the Earth isn't flat, but he's also wrong about the plane.
Show you a graphic of the Earth being flat.
Yeah, don't you have something
Uh,
to show me?
Yeah, of course.
Let me see it.
So when the higher we go, the higher they say you got to go higher. You got to go higher to see the Earth's curvature. Here's 127,000 feet. The Earth is supposedly spinning at 1,000 miles an hour below this balloon, but the balloon landed right near where it took off after being up there for 3 hours. So that
Yes, they have the same inertial reference point.
shows that the Earth
The
is
balloon still has the momentum from being on the Earth, from rotating, and there was nothing to stop it from continuing that momentum. So why would it be in a different place? It's still rotating at the same velocity that it was prior. It's just also going up.
isn't spinning, and the
Shares the same inertial reference frame as the Earth.
horizon, it looks pretty darn level. From there, this is see this one. This is another shot showing a level horizon, 120,000 feet. But people on an airplane will say, "Oh, I see the curvature." Jesse, if you were on a perfectly level area, you're out on the water or the salt flats, whatever, you can only see a certain distance before perspective creates a horizontal lie zone known as the horizon. So when I'm looking forward at 12 o'clock, I can see a certain distance. When I look over at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock, I can see the same distance. And if I look at all of those points in between, that creates a big flat circle of vision. And people see that curve, and because of their brainwashing, they're like, "Oh, the Earth is a sphere." No, that's just the limit of your vision. You see in an equal circle in all directions.
Right, but people can also go up really high and continue to see things. They can use telescopes. People have literally been to space. There are satellites in space taking live footage of the Earth and then it's round. You don't have to use your own eyeballs to learn things. The implication, and this comes up in Zetetic Astronomy, which is the textbook that flat earthers use. It's from the early 20th century and it's complete hokum. It's just bunk. But it's this obsession that you can't use other instruments or scientific measuring devices. You can only use your eyeballs to determine things. And that's just a really bad way of doing science because our eyeballs are not perfect. They're good at what they're good for, and a lot of people aren't even good at that. They need glasses and corrective things because their eyes are just the lenses are incorrect or whatever. You need instruments to measure things that are outside of our typical perception. That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Fenekagami says, "I hate the Antarctica point because we all know that if we offered a free ride to Antarctica to every flat earther and gave them a free rein to explore, none of them would take it." I would hope that at least some would, but I think no matter what they saw, they would justify it. I could be wrong, though.
So that
It might have been
curve
the
that you
late
see is
19th century, I don't know, or early.
flat. Like if you put your head in the middle of a hula hoop, that edge of the hula hoop is the limit of your vision, and it's flat. It's not a sphere.
But the hula hoop itself is round.
Yeah, well,
right?
just an analogy. I'm just using a little demonstration.
Oh, okay.
I'm showing you that that we can see certain distances. I just want to show you the helio nonsensical system
Okay.
on how absolutely crazy how crazy it is. So I was showing you how we're spiraling all around. This is a rocket sled called the hypersonic sled track. Watch it go. Watch carefully. It goes by a Mach 8.6, which is
The final experiment is offering a free trip to Antarctica for a flat earther. Even if they do that, other flat earthers will just say whoever goes is a part of a controlled opposition. Excuse me, Fenekagami says, I just love how he brings up things that disprove his points, like airplanes, and then comes up with complete nonsense to explain how it doesn't debunk him.
0.6 times the speed of sound. That speed is so fast, you can barely fathom it. You have to believe, if you believe in the heliocentric model, that we're on a ball, a lumpy rock, surrounded by smooth, curved water, that no one's ever seen the curve, surrounded by high-pressure air, adjacent to a zero-pressure void of space. All of these things are impossible.
They're not.
And we're moving 10 times faster than this around the sun, and 100 times faster than that chasing the sun. And we don't feel it. But when we go out into nature and they tell us this is going on, all of this spiraling, we can look at the water and we could say, hey, that doesn't show any movement, right? When we look at water, water tells us we're not moving. The science of water, actual science, water is level, makes a perfect
Actual science is whatever parts of it they cherry pick within a certain context and pull out into a different context in order to try and make themselves seem right.
reflection. There is no convexity. Well, the Earth is so big, Dave, you can't see the curvature.
Correct.
But I want you to believe you see boats go over the horizon, right? At just 3 miles away on a globe the size that they tell us, 24,901 miles around, there's 6 feet of curvature. That means a 6-foot tall person standing at the edge of perfectly calm water cannot see the water beyond 3 miles because it's behind a physical curve, but we can.
It would depend upon your elevation relative to the water. Toreador says, when you've done 6 impossible things before breakfast, why not round out your day with dinner at Milky Way's, the restaurant at the end of the universe?
We can zoom in on things far, far, far beyond where they tell us.
So the balloon that was spinning with it,
Yeah.
right? Was the atmosphere spinning with it as well?
Well, it's up at
Did Jessie Lee Peterson actually make a good, like a fair point? Oh my god, he made a retort that was like on point. Holy shit! Hell yeah! We did it! He made one actual relevant point back. Fenekagami says, yeah, I believe all those things are true about the globe. I don't care you think that's ridiculous. Now prove to me I'm wrong. That's how evidence works. There you go. Good response.
the atmosphere. So we're told that the atmosphere, I'm going to answer your question right now. We're told that the atmosphere is kind of Velcro to the Earth because of gravity, right? But somehow we have summer breezes that blow left and right. Now the Earth is spinning to the east. That's what they tell us. So the sun would rise in the east and set in the west as we spin by. But up at like 45,000 feet, there's winds that are outrunning the spin of the Earth. So we've sent balloons up that should land 3,000 miles out in the ocean, launched in out west. They should be.
No, that's not how it works, Dave. You're not even listening to the question he asked.
3,000. The Earth should have spun 3,000 miles out, but they
No, that's not how it works.
landed east of where they took off from. So somehow they outran the spin of the Earth at 125.
They don't have to. They are also spinning.
Was the atmosphere spinning with it?
Well, the Earth isn't spinning. You have to believe that the atmosphere.
Oh my god! He actively is dodging the question like Neo in the Matrix.
spins with the Earth. Winds.
It's like you can see the block in his brain at that question. Like, well, it's not spinning though. That's not what he asked. That's not what he asked, Dave. He asked, well, the atmosphere's spinning too, right? The whole system is spinning. Well, it's not though. No. That's not what was asked.
Can blow and ignore the locked-in spin, or you can just believe that the Earth is stationary. We're in an enclosed system, as God says on page 1 of the Bible, and that there's breezes left and right, and there's winds.
Because I'm slow, and I know you're saying a lot, but
Yeah.
so just give me a yes or no. I'm black and slow. Was
Okay.
the atmosphere spinning with it? Yes
Since
or
the
no?
Earth is not spinning, no.
So the atmosphere.
He's not even... Okay, but we're talking about in the globe model. as it exists, the explanation is that the whole system, including the atmosphere and the balloon within it, are part of the Earth's same inertial reference frame.
Here is not spinning with it.
The Earth is not spinning, so no.
Oh, okay. Do you know who Hake is? You ever heard of Hake of the HakeReport.com?
No.
Oh, you will now. Hake is here. He has a couple of questions for you. And
Yeah, no problem.
Hake has a show here on this network called the Hake, H-A-K-E Report.com. And
Rodimus says, ah yes, famously God said, in the beginning we are in a closed system. Actually, if you were to take the English translation literally, you could make that argument, but it's not literal, it's poetic, and it's also been translated a lot. But they do talk about a firmament and there being a separation. So if you were to take the poetic nature of Genesis literally, you could make an argument about a flat Earth. You certainly could. It's just that it's a religious text and not science.
he has on his little flat earther shirt right now.
Hey,
Do you see
Flat
him?
Earth Dave.
Can
Hey.
he be shown?
I don't know if he can see me, but
Can you see him?
I cannot.
Oh, okay. I guess he can't be on it.
I'm not sure
That's
what
right.
network he works for.
have Flat Earth fans, and I'm a ball hard. But so I'm wearing a
Oh.
Flat Earth shirt, even though I believe in the spinning ball through space thing.
Okay.
Um,
So go ahead. What's your question?
One of those was, what makes you think that we would feel the spin, since we've always been spinning?
Well, because when you're in a car or an airplane going straight on a perfectly smooth road at a consistent speed, you can still feel that motion. But let's just say you
No, you can't. If you're feeling something, you're feeling acceleration.
can't. If that car takes the slightest turn to the left or the right, or speeds up or slows down, imagine having a dinner plate
That's acceleration. A change in velocity in your direction or speed is that. You do feel that.
filled with water in that car, and that car speeds up or slows down the tiniest bit, or takes the slightest turn. That water is out of the plate.
That's acceleration. That's acceleration, Dave. That's not motion. That's acceleration. Yeah.
We're curving off of a linear path is the same as acceleration. So when you
No, it's not.
curve, there's a force. But we're spinning at 66,000 miles an hour. We're chasing the sun in a curved circle, speeding up and slowing down, but somehow we don't ever feel that. Is that I mean, you have to do mental gymnastics to believe in that.
I don't know. It sort of makes sense to me because, like you said, we're in like an enclosed system. We're like protected by the Earth, so the Earth is doing all that other stuff, and we don't even realize it. Except maybe when our vertigo goes away and we catch the vertigo, and then maybe at that point that's when we're feeling the spinning and stuff.
I don't follow what you're saying.
Have you ever experienced vertigo where you get really dizzy all of a sudden?
I know what it is.
Vertigo has nothing to do with feeling the spin of the Earth. It's like an inner ear problem. It's your balance and stuff, right? What is this guy talking about? Benagami says, Dave, you're never going to prove Peterson wrong. Even if you could present an inconsistency in the globe model, Peterson literally can't just answer God's doing that, or literally can just answer God's doing that. Why can the wind blow? Because God wants it to.
Yeah.
Maybe that thing in our brain is what's accounting for all that spinning, and we can handle it.
So the vertigo is stopping us from feeling these incredible spins and G-forces and turnings. You know, like
Maybe.
how come somebody that lives on the equator and then goes to Alaska doesn't feel the difference? Because the equator is spinning at 1,000.
Are they teleporting there? No, they're going to be going around the Earth to do so, and any excess change in their angular velocity is going to dissipate slowly over time as they traverse the Earth. If they teleported somehow, I don't know, maybe they'd notice.
Miles an hour. And
But I don't know how much the difference is. Probably not enough to even notice as a human being. The Earth is not spinning quickly.
Alaska is spinning at 300 miles an hour.
Oh,
I
interesting.
mean, I think that you would.
The Earth spins at half the speed of the hour hand of a clock. It's not fast. They say 1,000 miles per hour because it sounds like a lot to your human brain, but we're talking about angular velocity, not linear velocity. So it's not 1,000 miles per hour. Again, it's one spin per 24 hours.
have to have a major adjustment for that. We can spin, we can whirl, we can twirl, but you go 55 miles an hour in a car and you get car sick and throw up. Doesn't make any sense to me.
It makes sense to me because you think about inside of even a glass of water. When you pour something in a glass of water, like all the water is moving around inside of it every which way.
Yeah.
Even though it's still enclosed in that water.
Yeah, but then when at rest, it lays flat. Water lies flat.
I don't know
Wow, he's basically doing word association now.
what water does, because at tiny points, water becomes like a ball.
Well, and with surface tension, but anything bigger than a
Right.
gallon of water at rest lies flat.
But at scale, we don't know what it does.
Well,
at
we can
scale.
measure it. We have
Right? That is funny to point out. Well, you're agreeing that at a smaller scale it can be a sphere, so why not at a bigger scale? And Isaac Inanimate says, blow a flat earther's mind with one 15-second clip. Oh god, what is this? Inertia!
we've gone out to frozen lakes,
It's a property of matter.
and we could we measure where there should be curvature. And water at rest when it lies flat. When it's super cold, it lies flat, and it freezes flat. So we've gone out and we've done experiments where we here's a lake right here, 8 miles long, and a guy went out there and 6 inches off the ground, so we know the height. He put these lights out there at 8 miles, 7 miles, 6 miles, and 5 miles. According to globe math, accounting for ridiculous, stupid refraction, these should be 30 feet behind the curve, 22 feet, 15 feet, and 9 feet, according to globe math, not flat earth math, globe math with globe magical refraction added in just to give globe the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
And we can see all of them.
Have you heard of diffraction? Because with diffraction, light can bend around corners. So maybe the lasers are curving too, since they're enclosed in the
So
earth.
they're not lasers. These are just lights. These
Oh.
are just lights that we can see, and they're refracting up. Let me ask you a question. If there's refraction that lifts things up from behind a curve,
Yeah.
how come refraction doesn't take a building over on the right, move it over to the left, or vice versa? If refraction was a real thing, we wouldn't be able to navigate. We'd be all over the place. All of these line up perfectly flat. How come they're not refracting up higher? How come they're not magically going up higher? Because this one has to refract up 30 feet to stop here. This one has to refract up 22 feet. This one has to refract up 15 feet and 9 feet. Or maybe it's just flat.
Benikami says, I so desperately want Peterson to answer because God to everything. It'll be cathartic to me to make him realize what it's like to argue with a wall. Come on, use God arguments as intended to shut down people who disagree with you.
Don't make it weird.
I know, but have you heard of diffraction? Diffraction, it bends
I've
around
heard
corners.
of all of these concepts
Yeah.
of bending things around corners.
Yeah.
How come when I'm standing next to my house, I don't see the other house that's behind it? How come it doesn't bend around the corner? Because it doesn't happen. Yes, you can make a lens that'll
Because it's not the same conditions.
show you something around a corner, but that's a physical lens that you're making. Reality shows us that the Earth is level, non-rotating. We can see too far. Is the Earth flat? It's either flat or a million times bigger than they're telling us.
I don't know. I don't necessarily buy that because
You don't
it
buy
depends.
that.
It depends on like the hotness of the air, the thickness of the air, the moisture in the air. There's all kinds of stuff going on. When you see heat, you can see the waves of the heat affecting your vision of what's behind that heat, those heat waves. So there's all
Understood.
kinds of stuff that happens with our sight and our vision and light and the Earth that I don't think that you're accounting for.
Well, you're saying that heat is making things appear and not appear, and
Yeah, they
hiding
turn like
things.
wavy. You've seen it turn
So-
wavy
oh,
under.
Absolutely.
Next to like a car?
When you look through atmosphere, when you look up, you're looking through a tiny bit of atmosphere. When you look across, you're looking through all
This evidence shows
atmosphere.
30-mile light a bit lower. I think it does look a bit lower, yeah.
So
Let me ask-
we can. Go ahead.
You want
Say
to
Oh, go
something?
ahead.
What about the crispness?
It's kind of hard to tell, though, because, again, they're not using lasers. They are using, like, flashlights, so the light's gonna...
crispness of the atmosphere. I mean, the horizon.
Yeah, the horizon's
What
so
about-
crisp and clean and perfect. What else could it be but an obvious globe?
The horizon's so crisp and clean.
Yeah.
Is that really something that you want to say?
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. Let me ask you a question.
But
Is
what
that
about
horizon-
the crispness?
Is this horizon crisp and clean?
What about the crisp?
No, that's Hawaii.
No, that's
Hold on.
crisp and clean. Yeah.
This is so this is the Earth curve right here, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. So pay attention, Jesse. Take a look. I'm zooming in. Now what are this? What are these things out here? What are these?
You know,
These
they-
are dolphins. These are dolphins jumping that are far beyond that line.
Oh,
They're
I
far
thought those
beyond
was
it. So
illegal aliens.
Are they jumping behind the curve and getting up over? Hey, look at me! I'm jumping over the curve. Or is this just where our eyes can't resolve the distance anymore?
What the?
These are dolphins. This is water. You just can't see it because it becomes unresolvable.
But I can
It's
see
the way
that
our
there's
eyes work.
water and there are dolphins jumping up in the water.
Yeah, but they're way past what you just said was Earth curvature. They're way past it, right?
Cool.
Let me show you something.
But that
so
doesn't prove anything.
Yeah, I don't think
yes,
that.
it does. It proves
No,
that
because
You can
that your
literally
crisp
see how
horizon
bad the
isn't
like
crisp
distortion
horizon. It's
is.
a
You can see the waviness. My goodness.
fuzzy horizon.
That's not true.
Oh.
That is true. It is a fuzzy horizon. Even the globe,
That's not fuzzy to me,
the
though.
globe trolls
Is
that
that
are
fuzzy?
out here, the anti-flat earthers,
Yeah.
they'll admit that the horizon, you can't see it. That it's an apparent location. That's because the Earth is flat, but they want to claim
What do you mean? What? The horizon being something that's apparent doesn't require the Earth to be flat. What?
other things.
Come on, man.
So
Amazing.
let me show you something else.
Amazing.
Jesse, check this out. This is hard for people. It's easy to understand. I'm going to talk slow because you're slow. So
He took the bait. Dave took the bait. Dave took the bait. Don't ever take the bait with Jesse. Don't do that. That's what he wants you to do, to make you look like a jackass.
I'm just using this lit part of the water all the way up to right there where it turns dark.
Yeah.
Now this distance here, let's call that 100 yards, maybe 200 yards. Call it a quarter mile if you want. It's not, because I know where this is. And this from here to here, let's just call it a quarter of a mile. No, it's not even. But then from my finger to that line is 10 miles.
That's cool.
So all
Just
of the
saying it. I like that Dave just like, I don't know, let's eyeball it. He's just eyeballing distances in the open ocean.
information has to be pushed into that. So let's take a look. Let me show you what I mean. So
Like even literal like people who spent their whole lives on the sea did not say like, I can eyeball that. They had specific devices for this because they recognized that like the human eye is not good at determining like eyeballing this kind of thing. Nope, Dave's got it though. He can eyeball. That's 10 miles. I can see it with my eyes.
from here to here is a quarter of a mile, not even. That's a quarter of a mile. That's another quarter of a mile. That's another quarter of a mile. That's another one. You can't even see them anymore because you can't resolve it, right? So if I'm looking at it sideways, let's pretend there's a boat here. I'm looking from where you see me. That's a quarter of a mile. Right? That's another. So the boat gets smaller from the point of view over here, right? That's another quarter mile, another quarter mile, another quarter mile. All of these get to a point where you can't tell that it's any farther. So hold on, hang with me. Let me just finish here. So we have that. The sky does the same thing.
You're literally just talking about like the convergence of your vision at the horizon. We're aware of this. This exists and the Earth is curved. Both things can be true. Our vision can be done in such a way that things at a distance sort of meet at that focal point. I know exactly what he's talking about. But that doesn't mean that's why we think the Earth is curved.
From here to here is X distance, right? The same distance is wedged into there. The same distance is wedged into there.
He's trying to describe basically like if you were to stand on railroad tracks and look in the distance, how they appear to converge at the vanishing point. Thank you, Chromatic Cuttlefish. I forgot the name. They appear to converge at the vanishing point. But that's not why we think and know that the Earth is round.
The same
It's a
distance
separate thing.
is wedged into there, and it merges to where you can't resolve it. That's your
You're surprised we haven't seen Morantz today? Miss him? Hope he's watching Columbo? I hope so, too.
horizontal eye zone. Horizontal, not curve eye zone, not physical horizon. That's your optical horizontal eye zone, right?
Nice.
So
Let me say this, Dave, because sometimes someone want to know. He said the reason we can't see the dolphins is because the eyes can't see it. Can it also be true that it's because of the curves?
it can't because of the curve, because we can see them. We just can't see the water because all of that information gets compressed into that little tiny area, so you can't see beyond it. That now, if he had a zoom lens, he zoomed in, but he still can't see the water.
You know
because,
what? No, finish
because
your point. I'm
you'd have
sorry.
to get up higher to see it. You'd have to get up higher to see. The higher you are on a flat Earth, the farther you can see because you have a better angle. Things disappear from the bottom up because the bottom has the lowest angle to your eye.
Let me
Watch
say
this,
this,
watch
Dave,
this.
because we're going to have to run, but I do want to say, when
Right.
you were showing that graphic just now with all that red, I realized that as you were showing that, like for a person like me who don't know if that's true or not, what you're showing, and because we're so easily in the mind, we're so easy subject to whatever's out there, we'll say, yes, oh, yeah, I see that makes sense, when it really doesn't make sense because we don't know, we can't see that it makes sense or not. But we'll say yes to it because the person that presented it said, it's like riding down the road and you get lost and then you stop and ask somebody, well, how do you get down to Hurstboro? They tell you, oh, go right, make a left, and go to, it could be the wrong direction, but because their mind is screwed up, or they so subject to the expert, they go along with it, not knowing that it's true or not. Because everything you just showed me about the graphic, I don't know if it's true or not, and so I can neither I agree with it or disagree because it still doesn't make sense.
I got it.
Incredible that he actually pointed that out. Toreador says, I feel somehow stupider for having watched this. Don't we all?
Let me give, and in an hour, just an hour on here, there's 0% chance that I could convince anybody of anything. All I'm trying to do here is convince people to take a look, because you've been convinced your whole life never to look. And you've been convinced the reason not to look is because flat earth is this, and it's not. It's not what you think it is. So my website, flatearthdave.com, scroll down, you'll see a thing that says Crash Course. There's a bunch of videos there. One of them is called Heliosorcery. Watch that. The Level With Me by Hibbler Productions, Flat Earth, A Stranger's Guide to Flat Earth 21 Questions. They're in there. You won't find them on your own. They're being hidden from you. So watch them.
They're being hidden from
and
you.
if you can watch them and come up with one flow proof, you win 3 Bitcoins.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
FlatEarthDave.com. Thank you, Jesse.
All right, buddy. Back in a moment.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Ah, my goodness. What an interesting group of guys. Oh. Yeah, we'll do this one, 24.
Might know this.
Okay, real quick before we get started on this video, I'm going to use the bathroom. Word salad, sure, we can do word salad. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. Again, I will remind people we're working on Costume Month, so if you want and can, please do a favor to the channel, to me personally, and add tips to the costume goal for Costume Month too. Right back. Super Soldier. So the Super Soldier people are getting together for a convention, and they're going to talk a little bit about it. And if you qualify to go to the convention, should be fun. Let's check it out.
Talk while I try to find it.
Sure thing. So, as you guys might know, this is an event for SSP veterans, and
SSP is the secret or the Super Soldier program, or the secret space program.
James would obviously be able to tell everyone and people that follow this community.
Sorry, Fennikagami. Fennikagami said, wait, Peterson had touched on an interesting point for the two of them. If the curve doesn't exist because we can't see it, does it not follow God doesn't exist because we can't see him? No, he would never connect those two things.
Very closely to is the problem with a lot of the programs is that not a lot of people have a lot of recall with it. So it's actually very important to know.
Yes, like Captain America.
The indicators if you actually were in the programs, and if you've already self-identified as being in the programs, there's also things that you can do to help heal yourself. James, would you like me to tell a little bit about what are the healing tools and what are the identifiers that they could maybe know if they were in the SSP programs?
I think you should.
I think so too. Okay,
We're gonna find out if anyone here is secretly in the super soldier program.
so like I was saying,
More like Red Skull, to be honest. That's true. They are Nazis, kind of. Toreador says, ironically, it's actually being held in a convention center in Large City X, which is also about to be attacked by the Reptoid cons, and all of the secret training, all of the secret super soldier unlocks, and saves the day. That'd be awesome.
a lot of people
Heal. She said heal. Help heal yourself. I know what it sounded like. She said heal, though.
that were in the programs, and there's so many, and they're the world over. In fact, a lot of pretty much every single world government has, you know, some faction up there. And a lot of people don't know, and that's because when they're taken and when they're used, it's always pretty much done covertly. And there's so many memory wipes, and a lot of the times the soul consciousness is transferred in other bodies. And when that happens, you know, you have some breaks in memory. So a lot of people actually were used, and they absolutely have no idea. It's very similar to just being, you know,
Mondo, you Phoenix.
An abductee as well, but it's even worse than that. So some of the markers for that you guys might not
World's governments, not world. You know what she means.
know that you
The governments of the world
were in the programs. You could have things like missing time. You could have,
although they do believe in other planets. They do believe in a galactic federation. So you might have been right. Maybe I was being the pedantic asshole.
a lot of anxiety. You could have dreams of being on spacecrafts. You could have like a very deep attraction to the content too. That's usually like a very, very good indicator as well.
Oh no, guys, I must be a super soldier because I have an interest in the content. That's
could
how
also
it
be
works.
something that people refer to as time displacement. So basically, when you're used in the programs and you're used in multiple different factions, and you're displaced out of time and you go to other decades, and then you might serve like 20 years or 40 or even sometimes 60 or 100, then you're brought back to the original time, and then you're out of sync with that reality. So a lot of people that actually were used, you'll kind of feel weird and like out of sync with your environment when you actually are put back. So that's another marker for it. So there's all kinds of things like that to look for. Another thing when it comes to healing and memory recall, which is like a huge thing with SSP veterans, healing, the number one thing I would say is meditation. That like really helps trying to put together your timeline of like what you do remember. Doing yoga, lots of prayer and intention, and actually talking to other veterans is actually like super
believe sci-fi technology exists on the bingo card.
super useful. And also hearing testimonies of other people and just being with other veterans can have like such a healing effect. So James, what would you say is a really good way to heal from all that? Because you served longer than pretty much anyone, and like it's just been like, my goodness. So what would you say is helpful?
Good question. So of course, if you've listened to any of my videos,
This is just a really bad way for people to cope with being neurodivergent. I think it's a way that people cope with a variety of things. Different delusions, different illnesses, and I mean like mental illnesses, different situations where they want an extreme form of escapism to the point that they actually start to believe the escapism, to the point of delusional thinking. I don't know. There's a lot of them, though.
I do have an advertisement for the meditation cube. So that is a chi energizer. It will harmonize you to sacred geometry and help you relax, and also energize you at the same time. So by bringing down the trauma through meditation is, my opinion, very important role on helping you on the integration process. The other issue, of course, is we find that a lot of experiencers are stuck in a situation where they have people around them that could be defined as handlers. Now,
oh my god, it's a situation where I'm assuming people who have these delusions end up assuming people around them are a piece of those delusions as handlers, therefore they become an object of paranoia. This person in my life isn't just person in my life, they're secretly a handler from the government or the secret space program trying to keep me in my undercover role that I'm not supposed to know I'm in or whatever. You know. So that's not good. Fenakagami says, I don't know, One Piece is getting very topical recently, so I wouldn't exclude a world government being real at this point. You know, considering our elite class knows their actions are going to kill all of us, and rather than address that, they try to use their power to shut you up when you talk about it. I think you're overestimating the wealthy to genuinely have a grasp on the science of climate change, or the understanding how their individual actions collectively harm the group. I think a lot of people just don't know or don't care. Some are certainly, you know, evil, like, in the human evil sense, but, like, a lot just genuinely don't know or fall for motivated thinking. Bittergrin says, don't worry, you're safe. Reptilians aren't eligible for the super soldier draft. Based. I need some water. I'll be back once I get it. Be right back. I've returned with water.
My understanding is how this works is the secret space program are always looking for special people, souls that have special abilities. Typically, they are not really
Oh,
from
good, I'm safe.
This dimension is usually one of the things they look for.
Hydrate.
Or savants and geniuses, people that they seem would benefit them off world. Now, the problem is that these abilities will be oh my gosh, I just forgot what I was going to say. So Lauren, what was I? Okay,
So you're basically,
I'm sorry, I just got time displaced. Okay.
Oh no, that's okay. You're absolutely right. So do you want me to so
I was being really smart right there, guys.
No, it's okay.
I really was on something, but could somebody tell me what I'm
So
sorry.
you're
But that's the other thing is that you're very you're very dissociative. Okay, now I know what I was gonna say. So you're placed in families that will keep you down. And
Yes.
Some say, I don't know, Lauren, if you've looked into this, but there's technology on the moon that supposedly there's like a
Basically, this is a way of rationalizing family members poking holes or being concerned about your delusions or not buying into them. So being kept down, aka a family member doesn't think you were part of a secret space program and that you know, time traveled. Oh, they're keeping you down. They're handlers. Unfortunate. Unfortunate rationalization for paranoia and believing certain delusions that others don't go along with.
Soul trap. Like if you die, this technology will put you with like if you're a high vibrational soul, it'll put you families that are low vibration.
There's vibrations again.
To kind of destroy your mission. So
absolutely.
So we find there's handler issues, and there's also the aftercare program. And aftercare is where
aftercare is important.
They will monitor you throughout your lifetime to make sure you're in a situation where you're continuously traumatized and abused, so you won't be able to heal that trauma. So once the trauma can get healed, the trauma walls can start to go away. But so
yeah,
now hopefully I did answer your question.
You absolutely did, and I completely concur with like everything that you're absolutely saying. I found as well throughout my research, it is the higher density souls that are selected for the SSP programs.
The higher density souls. So souls not only have a material presence and volume, but their density varies, and being denser is better. The more mass your soul has in a smaller area, the better. Okay. For the record, I'm wearing pants. The shorts just look, with how long my shirt is, it looks like I'm not wearing pants. I'm wearing pants. I want to be clear. I am wearing pants. Shorts.
A lot of I found also.
Just want Twitch to know. I am wearing shorts. Fenakagami says, curse the human brain. It's too good at protecting our egos from facing blows from its own flaws.
as well, that I refer to them as galactics. And some of them have even been in like, you know, their former like real federation and that type of thing. And what that basically means when you're a higher density being, it means that you have special psychic and spiritual abilities. And in fact, all psychic and spiritual abilities come from the chakras. So when you're a higher density being,
Poor understanding of Eastern philosophy or religion on the bingo card. We can go over the bingo in a little bit.
and
We've
you've
gone
actually
over it already, but we can go over it again.
reach levels of enlightenment and you start to access like the 8th to like the 12th or 24th chakra, it is associated with things like being able to teleport, psionic.
The more ways can get you into some afterlives. I'm familiar with the Egyptian ritual that's supposed to happen in the afterlife of it needs to weigh less than a feather. But are there more?
Abilities, pyrokinesis, telekinesis, you know, being able to be like a remote viewer, being able to
I would like queso-kinesis.
manifest, having like an effect, being able to remote influence. And lo and behold, like a lot of the people that are like really like utilized up there, that's exactly the types of positions that they're put in. So a lot of, you know, a lot of the veterans have been like put in those positions where they're made to demonstrate those abilities, and that's actually why they're chosen. Another thing, James, that you were discussing is like the aftercare program, and a lot of the times, like when
I already did mention cheese on the bingo card.
put back
yes.
into the
Nemesaur, thank you for gifting 20 tier 1 subs. I appreciate it. Wow, getting closer to this month's sub goal. Thank you very much.
families, like there's people that are placed to like make sure that people don't, you know, veer off on their timeline and like reach higher timelines and that type of thing. I've absolutely found that as well. And like there's something that I want to mention too, that's called timeline repair, which is sometimes when people might have handlers around them, or just like people that are just not helpful, or they're just trying to gaslight you into thinking that like none of this stuff happened to you. I found that you can actually get back on your higher timelines by just following your instincts, by doing things that are wholesome and proactive and trying to get support. And you can actually overcome a lot of the targeting and a lot of like people trying to suppress you. So I hope that that's also helpful.
The internet has been an amazing communication tool, but it's also allowed people who are in vulnerable delusional states to find each other and back each other up, when in reality they need to be facing people who don't agree with them to help pull them out of their delusions. That's a shame. They can all continue to egg each other on when everyone else in their real life is telling them, hey, no, something's wrong, we should probably get you some help. So that's not good. Let's take a look at the bingo card, and then we will take a look at that. Let's see, we have poor understanding of Eastern religion and or philosophy, scientism, past lives, reincarnation, do your own research, controlled opposition, incorrect word origin is evidence, word salad, that's not really moving goalposts, Halloween Town. I don't know if that would count. Believe sci-fi tech exists. Maybe that's it. Flat Earth, duh. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so here we go. This is an open letter that a QAnon supporter is writing to Trump. I have not seen this, but I know it's QAnon. BitChute's got to be the odd one out and have a different placing for their video thing than Rumble and YouTube. Thanks for that. How's good Gina doing? She's still, like, good in terms of being happy and stuff. She's felt maybe a little more disconnected, but it's hard to say if that's new or if it's just like she's in kind of a cycle. I don't know. She still seems happy. I'll put it that way. She seems happy and safe.
Welcome to the most deleted, shadow banned, demonetized, censored, and trolled channel on social media. Recipient of the Patriot Warrior Purple Q Award.
Purple Q Award. That's hearkening to the Purple Heart Award, which is an award that's given in the military if you are injured in battle. So they are making their internet QAnon bullshit akin to being wounded in battle in the military. It is. This man is a convicted pedophile. I do want to point that out. This man is a convicted pedophile. Yet he's into QAnon. Which is at least ostensibly anti-pedophile, but whatever.
Dear President Trump, I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing to express my unwavering support for your administration, particularly regarding your efforts to address issues related to immigration and national security. Since 2015, I have been an active advocate for your policies on social media platforms, voicing my support for your vision for America and your commitment to keeping our country safe.
Rather it be kept safe from you, but okay. Purple Q Award with a link.
That's not a thing!
My efforts on
I think that's the only time I've ever laughed at Friends. Good job.
YouTube, starting in November of 2015, has resulted in 33 of my channels being deleted since 2015, and this censorship forced me to move to BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube, where my total following exceeds 30.
And for those who don't know, there is a YouTube competitor called HugeTube, spelled like, you know, when Donald Trump said, huge, it's gonna be huge, like Y-U-G-E. That is a thing.
2,000 subscribers. I am a first generation
What's this guy's name? I'm not gonna give his actual name. His channel is Net for Truth USA.
American and Vietnam veteran, United States Air Force from 1969 to 1972. My MOS was 3ABR 306, Cryptographic System Specialist. I held a top-secret crypto SSIR clearance. I authored the book Land of Childhood Spheres about JFK and the Vietnam War era. I am now 73 years old. The abject
Cat makes a guest appearance on the bingo card.
corruption of Soros-backed politicians is beyond the comprehension of many people who have not experienced it for themselves. I, for one, know what you've been through because I was also falsely accused, lied about, arrested on the color of law, exculpatory evidence withheld, signature electronically forged, invention
He's talking about when he got arrested and incarcerated for the pedophilia.
of a crime scene that does not in fact exist because I made it up, and backfilled into a complaint which was allegedly given 3 months before my arrest. So believe me, I know. Problem is that I didn't have the millions it would have taken to get my share of whatever remains of justice in this country. All of this happened because I was stepping on Big Pharma's money train by trying to get a boy I knew who was misdiagnosed with ADD, ADHD off of Ritalin, which was causing this gifted, normally exuberant and intelligent child extreme mental anguish and behavioral problems. Over the last 25 years, I have exposed corruption in the New York prison system. Department of Veterans Inspector General Case 2001 HL0066 with a December 2000 article entitled Veterans Exploited in New York Prisons at Taxpayer Expense and published in the newsletter Justicia by the Judicial Process Commission, Rochester, New York. A registered nurse from the Canandaigua Veterans Administration was posing as a psychologist, treating 80 incarcerated veterans for PTSD at Groveland Correctional Facility in Saguenay, New York, at the rate of $40,000 per year per inmate. The Department of Veterans Affairs Inspector General report validates the claim of medical malpractice, but calls the payout scheme a
I'm not muted, I just haven't said anything in a while because this is so fucking ridiculous.
coding error. They say it should have been coded as psych education, not psychotherapy. The difference being that education gets paid at $100 per year versus $40,000 a year for a real shrink. Quite an incentive for a 15-year coding error. The fallout from the DVA IG investigation shut down the documents, aka the Frazzle Drip video,
There
also
we
exposed
go.
foster care, who were never. We also exposed Epstein sessions. I was a confidential informant under the name C.I. Phoenix, who was subsequently wired for covert video as well. The scam had reportedly fleeced the medical CNBC article saying that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide in a North Vietnamese war bunker on June 25, 2019, and Google tried to cover it up after we exposed it.
What?
We also exposed the fake Christchurch.
Okay, he's too insufferable even for me. Jesus Christ. How do you become the worst person on a stream when Flat Earth Dave and Jessie Lee Peterson are on it? God damn. Well, I know you want attention, but you are very, very in the way.
Facebook, I'll admit, asshole here. Now I want you to take a good look at this here meme. It's a pretty damn funny meme, huh? I came across this meme on Facebook. I'll admit I didn't make it myself. However, I thought it was hilarious, and so I decided to share it on my Facebook page. Now, I didn't know the level at which that particular meme was going to cause such an outcry on Facebook. I mean, I figured because I've got thousands of friends on Facebook that they would think
It means dinosaurs aren't real because how did they have sex?
it's funny.
He's going to argue dinosaurs weren't real because how did they have sex?
But they started sharing it, and before you knew it, hundreds and hundreds of strangers were jumping in the comment section and reacting to it. And then before you know it, the post just absolutely blew up and went bonkers with flat earthers talking about how funny it is that dinosaurs definitely couldn't have had sex and that they definitely don't exist. And then you have all these globe lovers and dinosaur lovers who started showing up trying to defend the dinosaurs at all costs. Like, no, they were doing it missionary style. No, they could do it from the side like lizards do. So it started to just become one of the most funniest posts I think I've ever posted.
I just don't understand because we know dinosaurs existed. So they certainly mated because that's how you propagate. So I don't really know what you're saying here except trying to work backwards from I don't think they could mate, therefore they don't exist, ignoring the fact that we have material physical evidence that they existed and that's how we know they exist in the first place. Bittergrin says, well, as far as the Triceratops, rhinos managed somehow.
And it started to get so many reactions, it's like it's still going right now. If I was to show you my Facebook, in fact, let me show you my Facebook. I'll show you what happened. All right, so here's the post, right? On my Facebook. And here's what I wrote. 100% proof, dinosaurs never existed. Dino sex is not only comical, but it is also physically impossible. Try and beat my flawless logic and you will fail. Now, look at this. 436 reactions, 308 shares, 190 comments. That's just in 24 hours. It's still going. And I mean, I got some of the funniest reactions on this. Hold on, let me scroll down on this. Here, Lexi. What about missionary style? I said, have you ever seen any animal do it missionary? But then he says, yes, hamsters. And then some other people brought up that you could do it missionary style. So then it's like, okay, maybe some of these dinosaurs could have had sex missionary style. But what about stegosauruses? What about Stegosaurus and Triceratops? Mostly Stegosaurus, though. You telling me a Stegosaurus has sex missionary style with the spikes on its back? The female laying on its back would have its spikes stuck in the ground. And then when the male got on top of her, drilled her, her spikes would get stuck into the ground. She'd probably be buried up to her back. Her spikes would be buried in the ground. She'd be like, She wouldn't even be able to get up. In male stegosauruses, stegosauruses in general don't have hands to grab, let me help you up and pull your spikes out of the ground. So seriously, how would stegosauruses have made it? All right? And people are funny. They think that if you ask a question like this, all they have to do is show you a picture of two lizards having sex, and that's the same thing. Lizards and stegosauruses are not the same thing. I'll show you on.
They didn't say they were, but they could mate in a similar way. They're trying to illustrate to you that not all things either mate in missionary or doggy style.
In this post, people...
Yeah, he's applying a very mammalian idea of copulation to dinosaurs.
The comment section, probably 4 times, posted pictures of iguanas and lizards having sex. Yeah, lizards are kind of built like humans in a way. They have skinny arms and they can grab onto each other, and their torsos are flexible. You know, they're very nimble creatures. You can't compare a freaking lizard to a stegosaurus or a triceratops. All right? Anyway, let's look at some of these. It's hilarious. I try to tell people dinos never existed, but they just laugh it off. I said, yeah, well, show them this post. Oh, my God. Oh, look. The joy of T-Rex, how dinosaurs had sex. So this guy actually went and found the link on how dinos had sex. Look at that.
I mean, you seem to be inquisitive. How do they do this? So there's an answer. You could look it up. We certainly have hypotheses, I would imagine.
Oh, okay, so a giant T-Rex kneels down and crouches over a much smaller and dainty petite female T-Rex. Okay.
I mean, are they that different in size? Even if they were or weren't? Sexual dimorphism is a thing? I don't know if it was that way with actual T-Rexes, but regardless, you're basically incredulous about someone squatting down on all fours to have sex, which I assure you is possible. I've been on both sides of that one. Hannah regrets what she just said on the bingo card.
I see. I said, good job, Chris. Now show me how Stegosaurus had sex with those jagged bony plates on their back. Let me guess, they do it sideways, right? As you can see, this post just started to blow up. Even today, there are creatures that exist that I question how they reproduce. Lizards are almost a form of dinosaur or reptile in existence since the dinosaurs, much smaller, obviously. Whales, sharks, many creatures in the ocean do crazy things to reproduce. Yeah, that's the thing, though, is I'm noticing that dinosaurs have been changing.
Oh, nice, Jojo. Can I see your bingo card?
Some of these...
Copy the address at the top of the web page and paste it into chat.
People in the thread are...
No, dinosaurs are not reptiles.
Saying
I know that's what the person in the Facebook said.
Dinosaurs are related to lizards. And then some people in the thread say dinosaurs are related to birds. So I'm noticing when I look up pictures of dinosaurs, dinosaur pictures have changed over the years. Now I'm starting to see more pictures of dinosaurs with feathers.
Yes, because our understanding of their relation to other animals got better. Let's take a look at this bingo card. Hannah mentions cheese, poor understanding of philosophy or Eastern religion, free space. Hannah regrets something she just said. Do your own research. You are the winner. You win. Congrats, Jojo the Snake Lady. Let me... Oh, shit. I accidentally hit the wrong button and banned you for a second. I'm sorry. Let me hit the other button to gift you a sub. Apologies. I am so sorry about that. Congrats on winning bingo, ban. Your reward is you don't have to be here anymore. I apologize. Congrats on your bingo win. So that's our official bingo win of the day. Good stuff. Gamer G says, get this guy's theory to Hans. I can see, Hans now. How can gorillas be real if they're so much bigger than us, but you can't see their... Oh, he's made that argument. He doesn't understand that other great apes have different sized genitalia. The bingo ban.
Yeah, dinosaurs with feathers, because they're saying dinosaurs are related to birds. So I see feathered dinosaurs, but then other people are telling me, no, dinosaurs are related to lizards. And then they want to show me pictures.
I mean, all animals are related. But, like, no, they're probably just basing it off of a old understanding. Like, there are people who went to school long before the idea that, you know, birds and dinosaurs were related, or that birds are dinosaurs. Isaac Inanimate with a link. First fossilized butthole gives a rare window into dinosaur sex. Oh! Well, that's good to know. Hell yeah! I hope my butthole fossilizes. It's like one of the best parts of me. I already did Hannah regrets what she just said. That one's for free, I guess.
Of lizards having sex. So, like, are dinosaurs more related to lizards or birds? Like
a dinosussy?
Which is it? And then, of course, people say, no, it's not birds. It's a common ancestor. So when someone in the thread's like, oh, you telling me a dinosaur turned into a fucking chicken? They're like, no, it was a common ancestor. That's what they say with humans and monkeys, right? When you go, oh, are you telling me humans just came out of a monkey's asshole one day? No! They didn't come out of a monkey's asshole. They came out of a common ancestor's asshole.
I did take my meds.
So that's like another thing. They throw in the whole common ancestor to make it...
That's literally just true. So, like, saying it in a silly voice doesn't delegitimize the reality of the situation.
Legit. It's really hilarious. And then people are saying, no, the dinosaurs don't have sex, you stupid idiot. They lay eggs. And then the male dinosaur comes along and fertilizes them.
That's how fish work. Bittergrin says it's both. Dinosaurs are descended from reptiles and evolved into birds.
Okay. How does he do that? How does...
Stone Corbell says, as we know, if you say something in a silly voice, it means it's false.
The male dinosaur fertilized the eggs. How does he do that? Oh, does he just jerk off on the eggs? He comes along and jerks off on the eggs.
I mean, again, if we're talking about something that's analogous, I'm not saying this, I don't think this is what happened. Again, no, I think they probably did copulate. But, like, there are animals that do that. Salmon, the female lays eggs and then the male comes and squirts genetic material on them. Like, fish do that. That is a thing in nature, is the point I'm trying to make. So I don't know why he's saying, like, what? Like, they had to jerk off? Like, no. An animal could evolve to have a response that recognizes eggs and causes them to emit genetic material without a human or mammalian concept of, like, masturbation or coming in the way that we consider it, you know?
And then the sperm soaks through the eggshell and that fertilizes the eggs. Is that what you're going to tell me? So some people are actually arguing that dinosaurs do have sex and that they figure out a way, and that I'm just stupid for asking that question. And other people...
You're not stupid for asking the question. You're stupid for not accepting reasonable answers and assuming because you can articulate a question, no one can answer it. Stone Corbell with 100 bits kicks off a hype train. Thank you very much.
Say I'm stupid for thinking dinosaurs have sex because they don't, and that they lay eggs, and that the male comes along and jerks off on the eggs. Okay, he doesn't jerk off. He just knows to spray. He can just automatically just spray sperm on the eggs, and then the sperm soaks into the eggs and fertilizes them. Is this what we're going with? Oh, as you can see, this post damn near shut down the internet. More than Kim Kardashian's ass, I'm pretty sure this is shutting down the internet. It's still going right now. People are still leaving comments as we speak. All you gotta do is share this on your Facebook and just wait for shit to start popping off. I think, yeah, we're almost up to 400 shares. So if you want to get some attention on your Facebook, this is definitely the one to do it.
Strange guy.
When you see this goddess in front of this hole, in front of this break, the universe is separated by waters above and waters below. We can even see waves through the moon. Check this out. And
He's got an inflated ego about the post. That is funny. This is almost 400 shares. Like, okay, great.
stars
And?
behave like they're submerged in water. So our ancestors was personifying the science of the heavens. What we just witnessed were videos to show that they were correct about the nature of the heavens, because now that we got videos to see this stuff, no one can explain these ripples that we see going across the moon. And when you
Atmosphere. That's atmospheric interference. It's refraction from the different density of the atmosphere as it's a fluid. So different, things as temperature changes, it kind of like moves around, different flows and stuff. Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub. I'm not articulating this well, but it's basically atmospheric distortion is what I'm trying to say.
you look at the stars, it
45% to level 1 in a hype train.
show you why we say twinkle, twinkle, little star. It's like,
Oh, sorry, I haven't shilled in a while. Since I need to shill and we're on a hype train, we are working towards another costume month, so if you want to continue the costume fun, voting on what costumes I wear, you can donate to the costume month with the tip link. Helps a lot.
light reflecting on water, just like we see with swimming pools. So the opening or the break in the waters is symbolic of childbirth as well. Once you enter the break, you enter a new body and a new reality where the doctors are saying your mother's waters just broke. When your soul go through the portal, as above, so below, and your next destination and your next avatar, when you're born again, the doctors are gonna say her waters broke. And that means you just entered the portal in the heavens, and it plays out on earth as you about to be born. When the mind enters this portal, it seats itself in your body. Your body is being formed as you're journeying to your next destination. By the time the genie get to the lamp will be made for him. So as your body is forming,
If
and
we hadn't already had word salad, we would 100% have it, because I have no idea what the fuck this guy's talking about. And I'm pretty good at following conspiratorial, wackadoo nonsense. Got nothing. Got nothing. Alright, let's round out today with, an interesting video. Minute left on the hype train.
Hey guys, welcome back to Wretched Recess. The focus of my channel is weird stuff they make for kids. I also have other conspiracy and transvestigations. And today I thought it would be fun to take a look at this board game Operation. This is a newer box than the one I had as a kid, but we're going to take a look at the vintage version and a newer version.
Phyllis Filler says, when a woman's water breaks, it means that her Stargate has established an incoming wormhole.
The first thing that jumps out at me,
You're good, Dash.
they've got some butterfly symbolism going on. Monarch mind control, you'll see a lot of butterflies. And also I'm seeing some lightning bolts, and that's representative of Satan.
Or, alternatively, it's representative of the buzz that happens in the game Operation, because if you don't know how the game Operation works, you're trying to, get things out with tweezers, and if you touch the sides of the walls, it buzzes because it creates an electrical circuit. Bittergrin, wow, with 1,500 bits. Thank you for that very generous drop of bits. Appreciate it.
You might think it sounds crazy.
Over level 1 of the hype train.
But everything is done for a reason with these illustrations, and I think I'm going to prove to you that this game is a total mind F-U-C-K. Apologize for the language, but let's take a look at this individual who's on the operating table. Okay, this is like the vintage version that I have. We had this game in the 80s. Notice that
Yellow Cat, thanks for a $5 tip. Much appreciated. Helps gets us toward the costume day.
the top we've got the lightning bolts here.
Costume month, rather. Sorry.
But I meant to show you on that box, they call this a man. Where did my thing go? It says, make him better or get the buzzer. Let's transvestigate and see if this is actually a dude. I'm
starting to think this isn't a dude. I'm starting to think that this is actually a game board for the game Operation, and therefore does not have a sex or gender in reality.
going to show you a newer version of the game. I will give them a shout out. Let me see if I can focus on this. They have a new one called Brain Freeze. It's a little ice cream cone up in the...
I remember when they voted on that, they had a whole competition, and it was vote on the new Operation piece. It was like Brain Freeze, and I don't remember what the other options were.
Which is actually pretty cool.
Why are we transvestigating game boards? Because the transphobic brain rot runs so deep.
So I'll give them that. But yeah, let's take a look at this one. All right, so we are going to transvestigate. They're calling this a male. Let's see if this person has male features.
Let's see.
I don't see any slope back forehead. I see a vertical forehead, and I see a widow's peak. Those are female traits. And you're probably like, this is a board game. This is an illustration. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
This is geared towards children, and it's all about messing with your subconscious and getting kids used to looking at the opposite gender, right?
That's not what Operation is about at all. It's about hand-eye coordination. Like, if you want to come up with some sort of, like, why have kids do this? Hand-eye coordination. But the primary purpose is it's a fun game. It's just a game to play when you're bored. It's just a game. That's it. They're selling a commercial product. They're not trying to brainwash your children.
I'll get into, like, more TV shows and everything.
I didn't see that, Marcus Drake.
This is done very intentionally. Okay. The one male trait I do see on the face is the ears are lower than the eyes, so we'll give them that's male. But the forehead, the widow's peak, no brow ridge, that's all female, and an oval face. There's barely a neck, but they're giving this creature an Adam's apple. All right, so that's male. I should tally up what we find. But here is the smoking gun. A male has wider shoulders. The shoulder to hip ratio is opposite of this. This is like a round female looking tight body. These shoulders...
I'm sorry, are you trying to say that the Operation Man has breedable hips?
...are sloping down like a woman's, and these shoulders are...
Minute left on the hype train.
...way smaller than the hip ratio. In a male, the shoulders will be wider and the hips are narrow. On a female, actually, the shoulders are the same width as the hips. So we're looking at a female body here. Don't be...
You're looking at a cartoon!
Confused. Don't think this is a mistake. This is very, very intentional. Okay? So I wanted to point that out about this person because it's just crazy. They're messing with kids' heads. And I remember having this game, and I always thought...
Who messed with your head?
...this person looked weird.
You should definitely... try and figure that out, maybe in therapy.
And that's because this does not look like a
You're making trans fan art of the Operation guy for the Discord now? Fuck yeah.
Male body at all. Okay? So there's only so much I can do with a cartoon, illustration. But my main message here is open your eyes, know what you're looking at, and just, okay, also take a look at these.
Oh my god, she's got a laser pointer.
Wide hips here, all right?
Look at those wide, breedable Operation Man hips.
Hips and...
Isn't your mouth just watering to get into that Operation Manussi?
And, what's this situation? We have a they, them all around. These are female hips. This is a, round belly,
Not even what they, them means in terms of pronoun. Jesus Christ.
sloping shoulders of a girl. This is literally like a they, them, and it's
Stone Corbell says, I wonder why a game board for children doesn't have a giant dick in it.
been that way in front of us all the time. This does not look like a man at all. All right, guys, I posted a few other videos this weekend. One is on Sesame Street. I will link that here. I give a lot of really good insights into Sesame Street. It includes a transvestigation. Make sure you check that out. And I'll see you in the next video with
Don't tell me Elmo doesn't have a pussy.
more messed up stuff they make for kids.
That's too close. That works too good. Nope. Muppet already has the P. Nope. Can't use that. That goes beyond comedic and into disgusting. Because you can't.
All right.
Nope.
I'm not going to go
It's already got the P in it. It ruins it.
all these
Muppets. Nope.
individual
You could say Muppet Ussy, but that feels clunky.
pieces or anything like that. But I just wanted to drive home the point that I definitely think this is a transgender person. And what exactly operation are we having here, right?
An operation to take out all the things in the fucking game. Have you played Operation?
Is that another?
Dillis Filler says, I was about to ask, can we make these people believe that all these things we like turn people trans so they leave us alone? But then I realized they already did. Flower Sheep says, but does the operation have flesh pockets?
Another butterfly. Yep, there you go. More butterflies. All right. Take care and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Jeesh. Well, thanks everyone for hanging out today and watching all sorts of conspiracies with me. Lots of fun. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a stream with Cassifel. Not sure what time it'll be. I'll let you know on the Discord when I talk to them and figure out the exact time. But either way, we'll be back tomorrow watching all sorts of stuff. And then Thursday we'll probably be doing VHS Vault with the new VHS and connector and the tapes I got from Goodwill, so that'll be good. Oh, sorry, Marcus Drake, let me check. Marcus Drake said, here you go, with a link. Let's see what it is. General Douglas MacArthur sloping down female soldiers, shoulders, yellow lines, hips are wider than should be, shoulders, blue lines, braless boobs underneath stiff fabric. MacArthur supposedly liberated the Philippines from Japanese occupation during World War II. Yeah, I often think about Douglas MacArthur's mommy milkers. Oh, that was hard to say. All right.
Back. Yeah, I don't play them anymore. And I'll probably end up getting rid of that emote at some point. Unless
have a great night, everyone.
Turn it around.
Love you, Mr. Blast. And I'll see y'all tomorrow, or the next day, or whatever. If you watch this later, maybe throw me a tip at hannahreloaded.com/tip. Other than that, have a great night, everyone. And I'll see you real soon. Try not to fall down any rabbit holes. Stay safe out there.